That does nothing for these countries, bro. Like, immigration does not solve no problems. Not for it low-key destroys our country and it just further wrecks the other country.
Intentionally go all the way back to Ronald Reagan. Okay, this is nothing new. So the idea that we are saying, oh, they're bringing all these people here. Well, if America minded its own business and wouldn't go stirring up shit in other people's countries, those people would probably stay where they were at.
On immigration.
Yeah. So as it relates to immigration, I think it's a really funny subject, right? The very folks that say year over year that they can't give resources, right, or reparations and everything else to Black Americans in all the blue cities across America, they found a way to give immigrants, illegal immigrants, hundreds of millions of dollars in cities like Chicago. Most recently in states like California, the state Senate passed a bill to grant 0% interest loans, zero down, plus $150,000, I believe it's a tax credit. The reality in this situation is that there is a group of folks that under the Biden-Harris administration have been brought into this country to offset the vote. And that is a legitimate issue for Black Americans today, and we need to deal with it. And oh, by the way, in the process of that, we've got undocumented terrorists that have come into this country that have put our nation at risk. And I have a legitimate issue with that.
Biggest people on the terrorist watch list are white supremacists.
Well, I want to piggyback
every
off
terrorist agency.
Wait, what did he say? Well, hold on, dog. The biggest terrorist in the group is white supremacists. So if I look at the FBI most wanted list, I'm gonna find a bunch of white supremacists. Are you sure about that, G? Like, are you sure? Cause like, let's be real. I don't think I'm gonna find a whole bunch of white supremacists. If anything, I think I'm gonna find a whole lot of cartel members and triad members, and actually, like I am now. Yeah, I'm finding mostly Hispanic people on the FBI most wanted list, and one African man. Wait, hold on. Is that a white guy? Oh yeah, there is one white guy on there, but no. To be honest with you, it would be mostly the Mexicans who are the. Well, if you want to go for the most wanted list, like the most dangerous threat to America, yeah, it's kind of filled up with, the cartel members. Let's keep it real. They're the ones who are importing the fentanyl and all that. I don't think it's whites. No. Trust me. Like, the biggest threat to this nation is not white supremacy because, well, let's be real. It's not. It's just not, dog. Like, what do whites care thinking that they're the best? How does that honestly hurt us? Like, no, let's be real. Like, it may hurt your feelings, but how does it hurt us? Like, think about it. There's Black supremacists. We don't talk about them. Asians have a supremacy problem. We don't talk about them. And it don't hurt us. So to say white supremacists is the number one problem or a leading terrorist group, no. The leading terrorist group would be, well, the cartel.
In the United States says that the biggest threat to America is white supremacists, actually.
Okay, well, to piggyback off that, just discussing the resources, as a former foster child, had I aged out, I would have only left the orphanage with a garbage bag full of clothes, and they would have given me a $700 check a month and told me good luck. So I think that it's disgusting, a spit in the face to kids like me who didn't ask to be born into the situations that we were born into, that we would never be able to qualify for the resources that are literally being given to somebody else. Additionally, let's talk about the reasoning why they're coming over here, because we keep talking about the type of people that are coming over here. Let's look about the reasoning why they're even letting them coming over here. Black people are no longer fearing that the Republicans are going to take away our right to vote. These voter suppression arguments are no longer working. Yet if you can threaten an entire demographic of people, it's at 10 million now. We can only imagine what it would be in the next 4 years if this woman wins this office. In which case, now if you tell that large of a demographic of people that they will lose all of their benefits and their citizenship if they were to vote for a Republican, you can guarantee that you now have a new loyal voting base. So in the same way that Black people have been prioritized last, every time we're prioritized first during campaign season, prioritized last during an administration. We're going to go see us be kicked out of the room. We won't even be on the list once these migrants have come over here. There's already 10 million. There's only 49 million of us here. There's only 49 million of us here. And then if you think about the voter apathy that exists within the Black community, there's not 49 million of us voting. but you can guarantee every single one of those illegals who can get out there and vote is gonna go vote.
When we have more time,
they're not U.S. citizens.
They're literally voting in our elections.
The left is working to make them citizens.
Not even just make them citizens. They're getting IDs as soon as they get over here.
Yeah,
Are they illegal or are they not?
They're illegals, and they're voting in our
They
elections.
can't be one or the other. They got to be. Are they illegal or not?
Should they be citizens or not?
Right
So should
now,
they be citizens
but no,
or not?
we're talking about.
Well, they got over here in a way what we consider illegally. They kind of went to the border, and this is how the border agents explained it. When they went to the border, they lock them up, and then they release them into America, and then they give them a court date and said they're supposed to come back. You heard what I said? Yes. The Border Patrol is going to go to the immigrants, arrest them, bring them back to the station, let them out into America with a court date, and expect them to come back. Like, yeah, that's what they're doing.
About this election right now.
The should is what's driving the vote. The should is what's driving the vote.
Michaela, I would like to ask you a question.
Okay, hold on, guys.
Foster care in which state?
California. The same California that is giving $150,000
can I ask you
to
this?
illegal migrants. But if my
0%,
sister,
zero
who
down.
just aged out of foster care
But they
2
want
years
to give
ago,
you
she wasn't
Hold on,
given that.
wait a minute. I agree
Border
with
Patrol
giving
police.
black Americans the money first, but I do want to ask you this because again, this is where this Republican talking point always gets me confused. You were aged out at what age?
No, I didn't age out. I was adopted.
Okay.
I'm talking about the people who don't.
Okay,
who
but
do
when you
age
said
out.
wasn't born, didn't ask to be born in the situation they
Yeah,
were
like
in?
my mom was on crack and my dad was in and out of prison.
Right.
That's not
So-
a situation I should have to pay for yet for whatever
That's right,
reason.
but
the
I also-
government didn't feel bad enough for me to
Ma'am?
give me or my family
Ma'am?
those resources yet.
Ma'am?
And then leave my immigrant.
Ma'am,
That's a point.
ma'am. I just want to know when I hear the Republican talking point.
Okay, hold on. Let's go back.
Just a minute. I agree with giving black Americans the money first, but I do want to ask you this because again, this is where this Republican talking point always gets me confused. You were aged out at what age?
No, I didn't age out. I was adopted. I'm talking about the people who don't.
Okay,
who
but
do
when you
age
said
out.
wasn't born, didn't ask to be born in the situation they were
Yeah,
in.
like my mom was on crack and my dad was in and out of prison.
Right.
That's not a situation I should have to pay for yet for whatever
That's right,
reason.
but
the
I
government
also-
didn't feel bad enough for me to
Ma'am?
give me or my family
Ma'am?
those resources yet.
Ma'am?
And then leave my
Ooh,
immigrant.
Ma'am,
That's a point.
ma'am.
Great point.
I just want to know when I hear the Republican talking point. I just want to know when they say pull your.
And shout out to Robert Downs, man. I appreciate you and what you are doing here, man. Voices matter, bro. And hey, man, I appreciate you for supporting the show and all that good stuff, bro. Hey, appreciate you, Robert, bro, because I gotta get it out there, man. Because look, I just can't keep letting people think that, look, this is how all black people think. This is how we all think. Because it's starting to get like that. And they're starting to think we're all liberal. Like, and now I'm a black conservative, low-key looking at the situation right now, and I'm just like, come on now. Can we at least debate or argue in good faith? And like, here's the problem. They can't deny the fact that the Trump supporters have great points. You cannot deny the fact when these Trump supporters speak, they're making sense and they don't like it. Like, and then they got to speak out, get angry, bro. You see how wide his eyes were? He was like, and if you would read your Bible more, I'm like, oh my God. And I said it more manly with more bass in my voice than he did. So, man, look, it's kind of crazy what these liberals are kind of doing to these conservative blacks. They're basically letting us know that conservative blacks don't have a voice in, well, our own community. It'd be like that, though. Don't matter.
Yourself about the bootstraps.
I did
when
that.
they say I didn't.
They're gonna hear
Let
me
finish.
regardless.
I'm talking about to people that didn't, who were born, because we talked about this before, people that were born with incarcerated parents, people that are born, people that are born in destitute situations, because your brother would always say, you have an opportunity to get, I'm not talking about you, I'm just saying, what do you say to the Republican that says that despite the situation you were born in, because none of that is systematic, none of it matters, I'm giving the opposing side, none of it matters, pull yourself about a bootstrap, you're not a victim, don't be a victim, don't cry. What is your answer to a lot of conservatives that say, regardless of the situation you were born in, that you didn't ask to be born in, I'm not talking about immigration, I'm talking about black Americans.
Yeah.
What is your answer to that? Because Republicans say all the time to stop being a victim and to pull yourself
I
about
genuinely
a
believe.
What the hell? How did you? Hold on here. She moved the goalposts. We were talking about immigration, and she made a great point. Like, yo, I was an orphan and I didn't get nothing. Look, if America should be helping anybody, shouldn't I get like a 9,000 EBT card, free housing, and all this support? Like, shouldn't I get that? And instead of validating her point and being like, you're right, the Biden administration did cause this, they are low-key disrespecting black America, so you're right. Instead of saying that, she's like, so don't you have that pick you up by the bootstrap mentality? I'm like, what did that have to do with immigration? Then she be like, oh, I want to talk about this. I'm like, but that has nothing to do with policies.
believe that once you stop believing that everything is set up against you and that you can't win,
But just
you will
a minute
win.
ago, you said it was set up against you because they didn't ask to be born in the situation.
They were asked to be born into this situation, yet for whatever reason, they're not offered the same resources that
But I'm not
somebody
talking
else
the
who
resources.
also.
The conservatives say pull yourself up by the bootstrap. They say don't worry about resources.
Okay,
Conservatives
so-
say don't worry about resources. They say don't worry about it, regardless if the parent was
with the
born on
Democrats
crack.
being in power, ma'am,
I'm
again,
asking
we're
that.
talking
I
about
asked you what's your
context.
I'm not.
Yeah, on God though, that's what I'm saying. Is like the context of the conversation you're taking out of proportion. She does have that pick yourself by the bootstrap mentality. She's just saying that, yo, I did that. She did that. She picked herself by the bootstraps and she became successful. She did that. But she's saying that, well, in comparison to how these immigrants are getting it, to how we're getting it, isn't that a little like, not a slap in the face to the black community? The fact that, we had hella children that were born in terrible positions and shit, the government ain't helped them like they're helping these people. I mean, shouldn't that rub you the wrong way? Why are you trying to change it? Oh, well, shouldn't you have that pick yourself out of bootstrap mentality? Basically, she's saying you're supposed to have that mentality so you can't make that argument. Like, what are you saying?
No, we're talking about context.
Okay.
Conservatives say all the time.
Pull yourself up by the bootstraps,
including this
correct?
brother.
Correct.
Pull yourself.
Okay.
So I'm
and
saying,
saying
regardless
if the
of whose
Democrats
daddy
are
was
willing
on
to
crack,
help these people pull themselves up by the
I didn't
bootstraps,
ask you that.
they should be willing to help others
That's
pull
right,
themselves
but
up
I
by the
didn't
bootstraps.
ask you that.
Now, this isn't a Republican talking point because Republicans wouldn't give it to anybody.
Right, I know.
Okay, so there's that. I came up, I didn't have to get any of that. And yet I walked into a six-figure job.
Yeah.
I dropped out of college and did the same thing, raising my dollar by myself. I don't believe that telling yourself things aren't going to work out for me or, oh my God, I have messed up.
I'm just,
once you believe that is your life.
I'm not talking about believe.
You tell yourself, I'm going to win. I'm going to win.
We got that, but I'm just saying people that born. I would just want to see your opinion on people that born into.
I went to the illustrious Clark Atlanta University, and they told me to find a way or make one.
Right.
So anybody born in any situation will do just that.
Then there's no point in talking about that destitute situation.
It is.
Let's move on.
Because right now people are being allocated resources, and we have people who need those resources. We're talking about the fact that we're not prioritizing American citizens.
No, but that wasn't what I asked you.
We're not prioritizing American citizens.
You heard me say at the beginning of what I said that I believe it should go to American citizens first. I said that, ma'am.
Okay.
I just asked you
I'm
what was
pointing
your
out the
response.
fact that when we're talking about immigration, we understand that Republicans would not give out.
Yeah, but that's what the original conversation. Like, you just completely moved the goalposts to something completely different. And it doesn't have nothing to do with the presidential election. Doesn't have nothing to do with the debate or policies. So what does she bring that up for?
That's all I wanted you to say.
My point is Democrats are only proposing that these resources go to a certain group, and black people need to pay attention to the fact that y'all won't get those resources.
Ma'am.
That's the point. Y'all go ahead. Y'all move on.
Ma'am.
I'm right.
We said that it's not about right or wrong.
It is right.
No, it's not.
It is
I just want to know.
Black people won't get those resources, and therefore you should not vote for a Democrat who would allow foster children, veterans who lost limbs fighting for this country, veterans like you and this man here. Not get those resources.
We agree.
Girl, relax.
So if Democrats are giving them out, then why haven't Democrats given them to black people?
I'm not talking about no Democrats. I asked
why
what was
haven't
your
they given them to black
Is
people?
something wrong with her?
No.
Sweetheart, you were just talking over her and you diverted the entire conversation. There's nothing wrong with her. Like, sweetheart, I see why everybody in the comments was roasting her ass. That was like, what's wrong with this host? What was wrong? Like, you're trying to sell something and it's not selling too well. Like, to the point where every conservative damn near got to overtalk you because you're overtalking them. And they're just tired and they're seeing how you did the old dude. Like, old girl done set the tone for how everybody's about to have to talk over her. You moved the goalposts with her argument. She honed down on, bro, ain't that crazy? She didn't want to admit that she was right about immigration. So instead she moved the goalposts to pick yourself up by the bootstraps.
Something wrong with it.
Y'all see how she's trying to switch it to make it seem like something's wrong with me when all I'm trying to do is point out the fact that black people are not being prioritized in the administration. Therefore, when you ask about what Republicans are doing for us, what are Democrats doing for y'all? Besides putting you last.
Nobody asked you that.
Thank you.
Nobody asked you that. What I'm asking you now is to let young
John, please go ahead and share your thoughts.
I'm asking you to share your thoughts. I didn't ask you any of that. Girl, relax.
I had to put it in there because I saw where you were trying to pigeonhole it, and I wasn't going to.
Simple question. You the one that was at Chick-fil-A, wasn't you?
No, yeah, it was me.
Okay, yeah, I thought so.
What does that mean? Does that prove a point of some sort?
No, I just want to know. It's a simple question.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, she's just trying to win. She's just trying to have the last remark, the last cat eater remark to make herself feel like she wins. This woman has zero maturity.
What's wrong with her?
Zero maturity. And this is the black woman that they prop up and put in y'all faces. So these black women can act just the same and think it's acceptable. This is the one they put up in y'all faces.
Let's let
Let her
So-
finish. Girl, relax.
No, but people try to
you on the same
associate
page.
Chick-fil-A and
No,
call me a
I asked
chicken
because I
girl
wanted to
and
make
stuff
sure there was one because you was in there.
But I was also the girl who spoke at the rally. I was
Yeah,
also
and so
the girl
was
who,
I.
I'm also the
And so
girl
was
who
I.
mobilizes
Then run them
HBCU
receipts.
students every year. I'm also
Baby.
the one who provides
Girl,
internships
if you
and
don't
jobs
relax.
to these kids. So stop acting like all I am
just want
is a
to
girl that
know.
showed up at Chick-fil-A.
Girl,
Let's not do that.
You shouldn't
Let's not do that.
Do
not
you
do
want
that.
to do the receipts
If I had the opportunity to meet a
That's
president
bad.
and it happened to be at Chick-fil-A, I'm going. I'm going. If I could meet a president,
you gonna lose every
how
time.
many people in this room have met a president?
Work together on
Okay, can you let him
care
speak?
where
I
you
just
meet him
want to
at?
ask, Because
If I ran into Trump at a gas station, I would have been just as excited.
Girl,
So trying to
we
act
get
like
it. You ride for Trump. We get it. We get it. You gonna be
I
in the White
respect
House.
high offices, and therefore, yes, I would be honored to meet a president,
are
regardless of
literally-
who it is. Go ahead.
They are literally, the people are literally asking you to stop so we can
well,
move
you
on.
can tell they didn't ask you to stop, but
Well,
I have
it's
to.
my show, man. See, that's the problem. You keep
Okay.
forgetting. Oh my God.
But you cut her off. You pretty much moved the goalpost. It's like, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. She deserved to go off. She deserves to go off, bro. I promise you, she deserved to go off. I'm gonna tell you why she deserved to go off. Because, yo, when not only did you move the argument because she was right, she's 100% right. It is disrespectful for the government to be giving out these handouts, and it's the fact that it's the Democratic Party who haven't done nothing for the black community in, like bro said, 60 years. Like, why did she try to hide that? Like, bro, if you're black and you're looking at this is what they do to us. This is how they try to make us think. This is how they try to make it frame it. If they release the clips of this, they're gonna try to make her look like she's crazy. I guarantee it. She was being respectful until she was being disrespectful.
God.
Moderator, we should do that.
So-
I shouldn't be going back and forth with the moderator. But
No, actually you should.
It's okay.
Actually, you should.
I didn't see that happen at the debate, but okay.
So
All right.
there's some things we can all align on.
No, respectfully.
Nah, bro. She literally made a great point on immigration. Then she pivoted to pick yourself up by the bootstraps. Then when she says, what does that got to do with it? She wants to, oh, okay, now I want to move over here. I'm like, all right, nah. Like I said, she's trying to low-key hush their side up.
Respectfully, right? When I first got the opportunity to talk, I spoke on the concept of us, being passionate about what we believe in our beliefs. And the simplest assessment that I could come up with tonight from being back in the green room, watching y'all before I got out here, I realized we all get riled up for both of these parties, right? And the only time I seen everybody calm down and all that shit subside where we could talk like adults and actually listen is when we all realized ain't nobody really did shit for us when it comes to reparations. And that's when y'all all got quiet. When you start, when y'all start talking about these immigrants getting it all.
Bro, reparations, dog. Is that we're still what y'all spitting on, bro? Y'all really still going for reparations? Like, come on now, guys. Come on. Like, and I ain't gonna lie. I done spoke out against reparations many times, and I'm just like, look, we don't have a real plan to get reparations. Reparations, at the end, we don't even have a number that we want for it. I'm gonna be real with you. If you ask the black community, you're going to have like 4 or 5 different numbers that are honestly insurmountable. It's going to be in the trillions somewhere. Some people are going to cap to you and tell you that, oh, only a certain number of people are going to say it's only going to be 800 billion. And look what California said to that. Look what California said to that 800 billion for reparations. They said, hell nah.
Getting reparations,
So you
really,
know,
basically.
he don't believe in reparations.
But okay, even if he doesn't, I noticed the room, the air changed, the climate immediately, it got stiff for a second, like, like, oh, now everybody agree, ain't neither side done any of that for any of us.
But he don't believe in reparations.
So
It'll get back turned up if we bring up
I
reparations.
started to realize that
Obama, we talking about him.
this is where the divisiveness comes in at. At that one moment when we all came to this point of realizing that ain't nobody got no reparations in this room. Nobody look like us. But it don't matter if he believe in it or not. I noticed that everybody in the room was like, oh shit. Everybody else did, but we ain't. So are we?
Bro, no, nobody's thinking, oh my goodness. Why do they let this man talk? What? Why do they let this man talk? Bro, Trump actually did say he was against race-based reparations. I ain't even gonna lie. Trump is not for reparations. Bro, no Republican is for reparations. If you ask Republicans, like, bro, 90% of them are against reparations and 10% of them are. Not saying that they don't exist, but you got to understand that if anybody who says they're trying to give you guys reparations, they are lying. They're lying to you. I guarantee it's gonna be the last thing that Kamala pulls out and tells the black community if she feels like she's losing too much. Oh, I'm gonna get y'all reparations and all this good stuff, and y'all, and I hope y'all don't fall for it, because if you know economics, you know government, reparations would never be passed through. You think a bunch of white people is gonna force every citizen in America to pay reparations? Come on now. Oh, and for you to go ahead and take land from, American citizens, so, we can give y'all your own land and all that. Like, come on now. Does that really sound like something that would be passed through Congress, or that the citizens would even allow? Like,
get played on either side of it.
But Jock, they never say, no, this is important, because this is why we keep, me and this brother dance and do this all the time.
I see.
We do this all the time. I don't have no problem saying Democrats say shit, Republicans say shit. My
True.
problem with a lot of, because I'm independent, but my problem with a lot of Republicans is they never acknowledge that Republicans also, that's not what he's saying.
Okay.
They're not saying that, oh, we don't get what we want from either party. They're saying, which is why I invited them here, to stomp down hard for Trump. They are saying that the Republican Party is better. They are saying that Trump is better. They are saying, this brother said, Democrats, I admit, Democrats don't do what they should do. It's usually on this side of the aisle where they actually say, we don't do both sides. On this side, you do not get acknowledgement on what Republicans don't do. You heard the brother proud to say, ain't nobody gonna get to be in the big house but baby, that ain't no flex. That ain't no flex. Ain't nobody trying to be in the house. I'm in the field all day. So the point.
oh my, see, you could tell she's hurt. She's hurt. She's obviously hurt by the whole argument because she couldn't debate immigration on her and she got cooked. I'm in the field. I'm in the field all day. I'm like, okay, sweetheart, okay.
So what I'm saying is that's not true. When we talk about reparations, it'll get just back turned up.
Yeah,
so I know you want a peaceful, calm environment, but unfortunately, that's just not where we
at. It's not
at.
about peaceful and calm, but I sat here and I watched when y'all start talking about the immigrants and people, no matter what side you on, red or blue, everybody felt the same. It was the same context of like saying, all these people getting it, we still ain't got.
Yeah.
So then wait,
but
then
say Republicans
and once that point got pushed off of this little table right here, off the little coffee table, it dissipated, shit went right back up because it went back to going to opposing side.
I know, but Jack, what I'm trying to tell you is,
because I think there's some things
he believes that Republicans, they believe that Republicans is the way.
And it's safe to say that you're much further leaning left than I am.
Absolutely.
I think there are some things that he and I can agree to, and that's where we need to go in our community. We don't have to agree on all things, but we do need to start finding some alignment. And so here's where I would say, that brother just sat here and told me that his parents immigrated to this country and took no handouts. And my father immigrated to this country and did the same.
Bro, there was no handouts to be taken. There was none. The only opportunity handed out, the only handout was you being in this country. There you go. There's your handout. Ta-da. Welcome to America.
And fast food didn't exist for my mother. They both went to HBCUs. They both worked 2 jobs. They both put themselves through school. And they both did a great job with me, my 2 sisters. Bought homes, multiple homes, sold them, and built wealth. And it sounds like to me, your parents, who had the same work ethic, turned you into a relatively, I'm gonna use the word successful or productive citizen in this country.
Sure.
And so, irregardless of whether I'm on the left or I'm in the right, we got to do a better job. What this brother was saying earlier, finding some alignment. Well, hold on. Finding some alignment, because if this young lady goes to the White House, or Ted's you the one, and you going to the White House, and the rest of us don't.
Be clear about that.
And the rest of us don't.
Clear.
What we need in our community is black Americans that are going to represent the concerns of all black Americans, not just those on the left or the right or independent.
Brother, the problem that we have every single time is you never talk about what the Republicans do wrong. And I'm going to keep pressing you that all the time, because although he said, yes, his parents picked.
Well, okay, why don't you bring up the argument? Tell us what you think the Republicans do wrong. You're asking them to go against their own side is ridiculous. Why don't you provide an argument? Like, you're lazy. Like, that's lazy as hell. Like, what are you talking about? So you tell me, oh, you're not telling us anything wrong about your side. I'm like, why would they talk bad about their own side if their job is to convert black people to conservatism, to the Trump side? You're like, okay, if this is what you want, then why don't you go ahead and make your own argument? Like, go ahead and write out, where's your written arguments? Where's you saying, oh, well, I don't agree about this. What you think about that? Like, what's going on here?
himself about a bootstrap. He's also a Democrat that believes in a safety net to give the resources to those who are born in difficult situations. And we've had this conversation. No, but we've had this conversation, and we ain't gonna sit up here and play no game because Young Jock got y'all feeling good about, oh man, we all aligned. We all aligned that we're not getting what we're supposed to get. But brother, each and every time you still don't say that Republicans do something wrong. That's all.
Then provide the argument. If I'm standing on my side, why would I provide a negative perspective? If you're over here debating, why don't you give me the argument? Like, why are you asking me to speak bad on my side? If you don't like that, then tell me something you disagree with. Why I gotta talk down on my own side? Why would I do that? Like, let's be real. When you're debating which team is better, why would you talk bad about your team in a debate? Like, what? If you can't provide an argument, just say that. Like, you just did lazy hosting.
Listen, can I jump in?
I done got beat up in this debate all night. Yeah, man.
Y'all gonna ask a question?
Actually, a couple of things. One, I think it's a huge misnomer that all immigrants are Latinx, right? I think it's a lot of African people of African descent also make up a large part of the immigrant population, just like you just said and just like he's already spoken to. So we are actually helping our own people when we help immigrants, right? Because if we're all people of African descent, don't we all agree? We're all people of African descent. So we are helping our people when we help people of African descent that are coming from Belize, that are coming from Honduras, that are coming from Jamaica, that are coming from DR, that are coming from Haiti. Those are people of African descent. So those are our people that we're helping.
I mean, bro, I hear the sentiment, and I could tell he's a man with a big heart, but dog, you're not understanding how it's destroying our country. You're not understanding the economics of this, and you're just talking out of emotion right now. Like, these are our people, and we should love them all, and all that good stuff. And I'm like, no. We got to be real here. No, we cannot help all these immigrants. It's impossible. Like, bro, like, you coming up there and saying all this, and like, bro, can you talk about how it would help economically? How is bringing all these immigrants going to help economically? You can't say jobs because it takes jobs away from the American people. So, well, what is he really trying to say here?
I think they use that they say that it's Latinx people to kind of confuse the issue, but when you really look at the numbers, there's just as many people of African descent that are immigrating into this country as well. The other thing I want to talk about though is
wait, hold on, brother, because he's really about to go in. So I want to show, just like for sake of Young Jock, because he really wants to be kumbaya. Y'all agree that y'all pulled up by the bootstraps? My parents wasn't no immigrants. So no, I'm just saying y'all agree. But this is where the disagreement comes into play. So it's cool, they agree, but baby, the disagreement comes into play when we start talking about the solution. And it is okay to have a disagreement in the solution. We don't have to just stay right here and say we just agree to agree. No, when we start talking about the solution, that's where you're gonna see these brothers got different opinion. He gonna say, oh hell no, we not helping no immigrants over black Americans. And this brother gonna say, no, there still needs to be, if he's a true Democrat, a safety net for those who cannot. Democrat socialists to the highest level. So
I need to actually look up that border bill that the Democrats said, oh, they voted away, because no. The border bill was actually a foreign aid bill disguised the border bill. So you actually got to read the border bill. Please, go read it. I promise you. You'll be surprised the way they was divvying up that money. You're going to look at it and be like, hold on, $60 billion to Ukraine? Like, what does this have to do with a border?
Explain.
They gave a little bit, though. A little bit.
Young Jock can see.
Just because they gave, a small portion of the money to a border, they put the border bill. But really, it was the Ukrainian bill.
That no, this is where the solution, the difference of opinion comes in the solution, and that is what politics is all about. So even though y'all agree that y'all pulled up by the bootstraps, what is your position when it comes to immigration and helping immigrants? Let's just put it on the table. We already know y'all disagree. I just want to hear his opinion.
Great. Yeah. Okay. So a couple of things. I think one, weaponizing local law enforcement to enforce immigration policy is wrong, right? Because we know that harkens back to the times where you had to check your freedom papers. The fact of the matter is that whether you're black from Jamaica or you black...
Why are you bringing up an emotional argument for immigrants? These people are not respecting the law. Do y'all not know that? They're acting like they're here, they're doing the hard work, they're not committing no crimes or car crashes. Like, if that was the case, nobody would say anything, to be honest. We'd probably complain about the number, but we'd be like, you know what? Maybe we need to slow down. Good people, but maybe we can slow down a little bit. Nah, bro, we're saying not only do we need to slow down, but these people aren't following our rules. Like, it's crazy what we're letting them get away with, man. And shout out Kingsley, man. Appreciate the support, big dog. Like the video while y'all watching, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, make sure to like that video. Just double tap that screen for me.
Black from Atlanta or you black from Mississippi, when that police officer pulls your ass over, they see a black person. They don't care if you got an accent or not. And so we are stronger together than we are opposed to one another. So I have been on record.
Yeah, like bro is speaking. He's speaking very ignorantly because he doesn't know the full situation of, well, the immigration problem. He doesn't know the full situation, so he's speaking ignorantly, and he's thinking that, oh, this is just white supremacists being racist against people, and it's like, no, it's white people making actually a pretty good point. Actually, they've been making pretty good points for a while, but you know, it's kind of now that we kind of want to hear him out for some reason.
Not supporting the laws that the Republicans have been trying to pass here in the state of Georgia around making sure that local law enforcement can jail undocumented people in the city of Atlanta and across the state of Georgia. Because we want to talk about money. Do you know how much money it costs to run these detention centers? Do you know how much money it costs to enforce these immigration laws on people who oftentimes, the idea that people are coming to this country knowing their papers are not legit and they're going to come here and commit all these crimes is just ridiculous. Most immigrants are trying to what? Stay under the radar. If your parents are immigrants, what they say?
Some of them are actually being dumped out of the prisons. So, like I said, it's not like the visa program where we got a background, they did some type of service, they have some type of like useful skill. We're not doing that no more. All right? This is not what's being done. So we're kind of just letting them in and not knowing their background, not knowing where they came from. We don't know if they just a regular citizen from Haiti or they came out the jails of Haiti. We don't know. This is the problem.
Listen, we just work. We're not trying to cause no waves. We're not saying none of that because they already know they already are coming to an extra level of scrutiny just because they have that undocumented status by their name. And so I believe that we're throwing good money over good by spending so much money on enforcing these immigration laws instead of creating a pathway for people to have citizenship.
Bruh.
Right. So that's where that's all I'm saying, Jack. It can be nice and quiet for just that 1-2 minutes.
Now, where's your
once we
disagreement?
start getting into the solution, that's where things
I'm
have
gonna wait till I have the floor.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
My piece. We talk about the resources and what it takes to run a penitentiary, right? Okay, that's absurd. Democrats said that $5 billion was too much to build a wall. And today we spent $450 billion on policies and programs and resources for migrants. And that pretty much sums it up. That pretty much sums it up.
You're talking about the wall.
We can't complain about
You're talking
resources.
about the wall.
I don't hear.
What? The wall that wasn't even built? The wall that they tore down and sold? What are you talking about, bro? The wall. You're talking about the wall. No, he's talking about the billions that we spend from taxpayer money. You saying the wall is disingenuous because the wall wasn't even fully constructed. The pieces of the wall were sold. Like, what are y'all talking about?
Programs and resources for migrants. And that pretty much sums it up. That pretty much sums it up.
You're talking about the wall.
We can't complain about resources.
You're talking about the wall.
I don't hear anybody in our community challenging Clayton County right now relative to the budget as it relates to the prison.
Oh,
damn.
Me.
Nobody.
I went after Victor Hill. I went after Victor Hill.
Can I have the floor?
Yeah, please.
I get it that liberal politicians are arguing the point.
But let's not say nobody. The brother just said he did.
The people of these communities. Yeah. The people of these communities not arguing about what's invested in the prison, but liberals will argue about the resources.
We acknowledge it because you used the absolute. You said nobody. The brother said he did though.
They want to argue. They want to argue about the resources that are needed in all types of programs, prisons, schools, etc., so forth and so on. But the people down on the ground, the people in Pittman Park, and the dudes off Techwood, they not complaining. They not talking about how the prison is funded. The reality is that money flows back into liberal politicians' pockets, et cetera, so forth and so on, and it never makes it into improvements in these facilities. It doesn't make it into these kids' pockets, et cetera, so forth and so on. And that's from somebody who grew up in a blue city as an institutional Democrat.
Let me. So
relax, brother.
If you know,
let him respond. Stop trying. Hold on.
Hold on. So they can clap for you, but they can't clap for none of them. Okay.
Let him respond.
In Georgia,
Let him
I
respond,
get
because he said nobody was challenging it, and
In
you said you did,
Georgia,
so let's respond.
One, to know me, Michaela knows this because she sees me down at City Hall.
Literally, this is my
She
first time meeting you. Everybody
She
else
sees me down at City Hall. She sees me down at Fulton County Commission, the largest county in the state of Georgia. They just tried to propose a $2 billion jail. And you know who came down there to speak about it? It was black folks. Old black folks, young black folks who knew that if we were spending $2 billion on a new jail, that meant that they were going to defund senior services. That means that they were going to defund our hospitals. And guess what? This isn't a partisan issue because many of the people who proposed this were Democrats. They got D's by their name, and I had smoke for them too. Because if you're going to stand against black people, no matter what party you're affiliated with, you're going to have a problem with me.
So why did you say nobody?
The Democrats that are pushing for the construction of a prison in this state are the same Democrats that benefit from the set-asides associated with the construction of that prison.
Sir, hold on, wait a minute.
The reality
is
they want to push money into building prisons because it makes money.
Stop talking loud. We got to acknowledge this brother works because you...
Shut up. Like, God damn it, shut up. You let him make a point. You let the liberals make a point, but you can't let the conservatives make a point. Like, oh, we got to respect this brother's work. It's like, bro, come on now.
You sat up here and said nobody said anything, and this brother just told you that he did.
No,
so
he's saying that black folks went down and lobbied for the funds for a prison, and I'm saying nobody from Techwood, nobody from Clayton County, none of the people in those communities are asking.
You said nobody
against
black politicians in the Democrat Party that got construction companies and so forth are pushing for the set aside associated with that construction.
What this brother's done.
I'm in the construction.
Brother, you ain't the only one doing the work.
It's about running that money right back through the circle.
Let him I just want to know why the brother can't acknowledge your work.
Listen.
Why he can't acknowledge your work, though?
Listen. The problem
That's
is
weird, brother.
The problem is because I understand that we sometimes speak in absolute and hyperbole, right? I know that was an S.E.T. word I dropped down. It's cool. But sometimes we gotta speak. We just gotta speak to the facts, and we gotta speak to the rock. Yeah. The fact of the matter is that our mayor, our city council, our county commission, who are Democrats and Republicans, push to expand the prison industrial complex in the city of Atlanta. That was bipartisan support, right?
Fair.
In Georgia, who has been mostly under Republican leadership, and even when it was Democrats, they were Dixiecrats, so they were Republicans for all intents and purposes. They have governed a budget where we spend $8.1 billion on police, prisons, and jails. We don't spend that on public education. We don't spend that on hospitals. We don't spend that on money and direct assistance to black communities. We don't.
Okay.
And it's a Republican issue, too.
Right.
And so, to your point, Tez, this is sometimes my frustration with Trumpers, with Republicans, with conservatives, because I can call out the folks on the left.
That's right.
In fact, I spend more time fighting people on the left than I do on the right because they're trying to out-Republican y'all.
That's right.
But the problem that I have with conservatives is that, particularly black conservatives, is we can see as plain as day Republicans will push an agenda that is not for black people, and y'all will say, y'all will come up with every rhyme, reason.
Cool. Which one? Please explain which policy, which agenda that's not for us. Like, no. Like, can somebody hold him to that point, please? Like, all right, cool. Which one? I'd like to hear it.
An excuse, tap dance, this, that, and the third. Come
Oh,
on.
here we go.
Sometimes we gotta call a thing.
The current vice president said that she would not support a policy that was directed toward black Americans, but she gave $25 to $50 million to Asian Americans.
Okay.
Come on.
We talk.
Come on.
Yes.
Am I one of them black Republicans?
You are not one of those black Republicans. You are not. Which is why we go to lunch together.
So Young Jock, to make Young Jock happy, we got two people where they agree. All we saying is, because Young Jock wants y'all to be happy.
I'm taking it in.
We got to move to the immunity. We got to move on. All I'm saying is, we want to see that, or at least me, more in the public space. You know,
I do it, but I mean, I'm not as public
Sometimes
as
you have
everybody.
less than a second to make
right now,
life and death
I mean, I haven't.
decision. And sometimes very bad decisions are made. They're not made from an evil standpoint, but they're made from the standpoint of they made a mistake. They're going to be indemnified. We're going to pay them for their costs, for their lawyers. You know, policemen have to go, in many cases, hire a lawyer to protect themselves. The state doesn't want to get involved. These people are crazy. When they're standing there in front of a department store that's being looted by 400, mostly kids, but other people too, and they want to do something so badly, but they're told not to because there's liability. They're not going to have any more liability. They're going to do their job. They're going to stop it.
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
I
rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
better not. I swear to God, I'll drain your face.
Okay.
Whoa.
Pot! Fucking drop the pot! What did I do? What did I do? Who else in the apartment? No,
I mean, Sonia Massey won. Come on now, y'all oversold it. Come on now, that's not.
Speak on behalf
Across the
of,
news division,
based on what the
have been
sister said,
updating our
the
live
comments about
blog,
grabbing by the
looking
feet.
at some
Kevin
of the
spoke on
allegations
the
made back
concept
and
of
forth,
context.
doing
What
the
fact
hell?
checks
Why
and
he
Oh,
said
hey.
all of that on
All right, hold on, I
abcnews.com.
got y'all.
Empower, ma'am.
I'm
Again, we're talking about context.
We're talking about context.
Okay.
Conservatives say all the time.
Pull yourself up by the bootstraps,
including this
correct?
brother.
Correct.
Pull yourself.
Okay.
So I'm
and
saying,
I'm
regardless
if the
of whose
Democrats
daddy
are
was
willing
on
to
fire,
help
Here
these
we
people
go.
pull themselves up by the bootstraps.
Here we go.
immunity. Want to get your thoughts on it. Let's go with Jock first.
Here we
We're
go.
going to pay them for their costs, for their lawyers. You know, policemen have to go, in many cases, hire a lawyer to protect themselves. The state doesn't want to get involved. These people are crazy. When they're standing there in front of a department store that's being looted by 400, mostly kids, but other people too, and they want to do something so badly, but they're told not to because there's liability. They're not going to have any more liability. They're going to do their job. They're going to stop it.
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
I
rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
better not. I swear to God, I'll drain.
Yeah, that man was deranged. That man was pretty deranged. Can't even lie. This was the worst situation. But hey. Now, when Trump means he's gonna give police officers immunity, or is pretty much what y'all stating there, is he doesn't mean like, oh, they can just go around taking lives and all that. Well, he's pretty much saying that, well, it's, officers have, roughed a couple people up. You know, they chased them down after they stole something, put them on the ground, they broke something, and boom, now they're in their court getting sued, and their police department don't even give them no representation. It's like, bro, a lot of police officers are like, bro, if they're going to do this, I'm quitting. Like, you tell me I'm going to pull up, try to do my job, and I might go to jail or get sued? Like, it ain't worth it no more. So, in situations like this, is not what he's talking about. Now, y'all can believe what y'all want to believe, but trust me, nobody's talking about situations as gruesome as this.
Drain your face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the pot! Fucking drop the pot! What did I do? Who else in the apartment? Nobody. My girlfriend's dead. Tell him we have 11015. What? How's your girlfriend? I don't know. Inside? There's somebody.
Oh, I remember this. Shout out to Power Stroke Syndicate, man, with the $1.99, bro. We appreciate the support, big dog. Just didn't have too much to say. Just wanted to throw up the ones. Appreciate you, man. But, oh my God. Wasn't this the Breonna Taylor one, I believe? Was this Breonna Taylor? Because the Breonna Taylor one was some BS. Like, that man over there, like, if this was Breonna Taylor, because look like Breonna Taylor, because I remember the setup of the house and all that good stuff. And for some reason, Breonna Taylor stepped out and was shooting at the police because, you know, she thought they was robbers, while this man literally ran behind her. Yes, the man literally ran behind his woman. Yeah.
Banging at the door and she said, who is it? And the other started shooting. No.
I got COVID, man. I can't breathe.
Take a seat.
Please, man. Please listen to me.
Is he going to jail?
Listen to me.
He's under arrest right now for forgery.
I tell you.
Can we figure out what's going on?
Hold on. Now, you got to be fair. If you're going to play the body cam, could we please play the body cam and where they put bro in the car and he said, I can't breathe in the car. If we want to be fair, I would like to see that body cam footage too, because it is out there. Yeah, the body cam footage of them putting George Floyd in the car. He's saying, I can't breathe. Let me out the car. put me on the ground, bro. Bro asks for everything, believe it or not.
We've had this conversation before. I know the Republican talking point is they already got immunity, but Donald Trump has said that he believes in federal immunity. Want to get your thoughts on it? Let's go with Jock first, because we don't have y'all take over and then Jock can sit up in one. So let him be the cooler head.
Man, look,
on immunity.
So you know me, like I'm a good guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't get in a lot of trouble at all, for real. And I've seen police handle me so crazy sometimes, man. And it's just like they got to be held accountable. Just immunity because, you've gone through an academy, you made a pledge, you know what I'm saying, an oath to the community and to be a protector and a servant of the community. That's great. I do applaud good policing. I applaud it. Like, I'm gonna keep it 100. Some people are just, some people need governing. Period, point blank. A lot of us do. Let's just be for real. So when you get a good police officer, it's one thing. But when you, like myself, I've been in a situation where I've been snatched out the car, thrown right into these two right here, this right here, these two, this come from handcuffs. They were looking for my brother. I had nothing to do with nothing going on. I still got thrown into the bushes. I got beat up. And they tried to put a murder charge on me, right? Then they found out they had the wrong person. I still got charged with criminal disorderly conduct, which is a criminal charge. So I can't even go and get my firearm, my carry concealed permit because at that point, I can now, but at that point, because it was a criminal charge. But I'm like, hey, so what's gonna happen? Y'all just beat me up and did all this to me. I still didn't get the charge taken away. I think sometimes, man, you gotta understand, when we start talking about immunity, Stephen A., he was just talking about Tyreek Hill. And he said, well, all you had to do was roll up the window. He told you don't roll the window down. No, he told you don't roll the window, just leave the window down. Well, you looking at it on that end, but when you getting pulled over and the level of aggression is already here before, because they ain't treating you
be
like
right
they
back,
treat
Chad.
Tom.
Be right back.
Hi, hey, great. Just want to let you know you're speeding. I was like, you get your license. No, I ain't think they like walking up their hand on the gun off rip. I just told a story today. Tell me I'm lying. I told the doctor, I told the police officer, hey man, listen, y'all got the wrong car that just sped past you. I said, I'm having twins right now. He said, you having twins? Right now? I said, yeah, I got to get there. He said, hold on. He called backup. Backup came. I'm like, why I call backup? Snatched me out of the car. Boom, threw me in handcuffs. I said, hey, why you doing that? You know what he said? Because I'm trying to save your life. Because I know that you have a real serious situation right now. I don't want you to do anything that goes against what we're telling you because you feel in your mind, you got to get to this hospital to see your twins be born and something happened, I kill you out on the side of the expressway. And I looked at him like, damn, I ain't never see it like that. But, you know, I'm serious because it put me in a position where I was like, hey man, but I wasn't finna do nothing to get killed or I'm going to jail. Y'all told me I'm going to jail. Told me I was going to
So
jail.
the other officer didn't anything ever happen to him? Would they ever?
No, and that police officer, he apologized. He said, man, I'm sorry. He didn't have to slam you on the ground like that. I dusted you off a little bit.
Everybody,
you know what I'm saying?
So I want to see if
somebody
you're
gotta
gonna
be held
stand.
accountable.
So I want to see if you're gonna stand on business because I know your position with this. So let's run back what you said last time as far as
I'm pro. Look,
you pro what?
The police departments across America, the vast majority of the stops that happen on a day-to-day basis are correct. They are just, and the vast majority of police officers across America are doing a great job in our communities and in others. That said, these incidents that you see, like the one we just saw that they just had on the screen, are an issue. Okay, they are an issue, but they are exceptions, not the rule. And so, what we need, in my opinion, as a young black Republican, and I disagree with a lot of other Republicans on this topic, is we need a right-sized approach to deal with these exceptions and hold those folks accountable.
Do you say
that's my opinion.
So what I asked you earlier about disproportion?
I said we need a better psychological test for the police. That would save a lot of people's lives. A better psycho evaluation, because some of these police are getting in just off the strength that they're active and they can pay attention. We need to do a real psychological test, or maybe put them in simulations or something to where we know what they might do in certain situations. Like we need to be able to pick out those people who we can tell, like, yeah, this guy's temperament is not good. I can see him doing this. Or yeah, that psycho eval, yeah, bro look like the type to jump off the hinge. He can't go. But we can take him to the army though.
You know how you like to give the disproportionate facts on abortion?
Yeah, I went crazy.
Would you say that disproportionately, the exceptions that you're talking about, do they disproportionately affect black men?
I would say that black men are pulled over more disproportionately stereotyped and pulled over than any other group of folks in America. Yes, I would. I would. We're not running from the truth.
No. But earlier you wouldn't. When I asked you that, remember we talked about that for like over an hour. You didn't want to.
As it related to the other topic. As it related to the other topic, we're probably not going to ever agree. But I would agree with you in this topic.
Yeah, sure.
Just because, again, in the spirit of being bipartisan, it is not a Democrat or Republican issue because the Democrats
they say it is, though.
I don't believe so because I see every day how Democratic officials empower the police, make excuses for the police, don't prosecute the police.
Both sides.
Right? On both sides.
Both sides.
That's bipartisan. So, like, I don't want to make this a Republican or Democrat issue because it is an American problem. It is America's problem. It is for both political parties. Because right now, you know, folks has smoked with Fani Willis for a variety of reasons, right? Around this Trump case. That actually wasn't my issue with her.
But
my issue with D.A. Willis was all of the police officers who we know have killed people, like Deacon Holloman, a 62-year-old deacon in the city of Atlanta.
But before we move to goalposts, I want to know. Okay, but before we move to goalposts, I still want to know the answer to my question about Trump and saying that he would grant immunity to all police officers. What's your position on